Howdy YouTube, today we're taking a look at the Kenner Star Wars Power of the Force Endor Rebel Soldier. Quite a cool looking figure, one I've had for a number of years now. You can see the badly damaged packaging, mainly from the sun. It is very brittle and prone to shattering, but a cool looking figure. I thought I'd review it and also talk a little bit about the new Star Wars movie and also the Star Wars Battlefront game. In terms of packaging, comes in that old school style Power of the Force packaging. It's got a freeze frame set from I guess, Episode 6, the mission on Endor. One thing I really loved about the new Star Wars movie, and I don't think it's going to spoil anything for those who haven't seen it, do yourself a favour and make sure you do watch it, but I loved that the Stormtroopers were finally competent. In all the previous movies, they've been pretty much the biggest duds of all time. Although, you know, they've redeemed the Stormtrooper army in this new film. One thing I really liked as well is there is a reference there to the development of a clone army. That's one thing I thought was really cool. They acknowledged with previous films and things like that. I thought it was awesome. So with that, let's get the Rebel Soldier opened up. Just a quick look at the back of the packaging. Nice shot there of Han Solo, Chewie, and the Rebel soldiers. You can actually cut that out if you wanted it on display. Old school figures really appealed to me, especially lately, mainly because the articulation is the same as a lot of the newer figures, but the quality, I think, is substantially higher. Other figures that you can get, obviously, Princess Leia, the guard from Jabba's palace, Grand Moff Tarkin, Luke, and a Snow Trooper. So decent wave of figures there. The Han Solo Jabba the Hutt set looks kind of cool. That's a decent looking Jabba figure. So let's get this Rebel opened up. And here we have the Rebel Soldier opened up and out of packaging. I'll bring it forward so you guys can see. Certainly not a bad figure. I think it's kind of cool just to get that old school figure. I'm really enjoying the multiplayer on Star Wars Battlefront. I know it's hit or miss for some people. I think the single player is appalling and needs a lot of work. But certainly the multiplayer, I think, is some of the most fun I've ever had in a Star Wars game. Loving Walker Assault mode. Loving the Hero Hunt as well. They're probably my two favourites. Just really wish all those multiplayer modes, there is no reason that you couldn't do those in single player with bots. And the fact that you can't, to me, is just laziness. Now, in terms of articulation, he's got a swivel head, swivel arm, swivel waist, cool, and swivel in the legs. Other than that, no articulation. So it's pretty much the same as what we get at the moment, but certainly a much cooler design for a figure. Now, in terms of accessories, he comes with a really cool-looking blaster rifle, which I think you can actually get in Star Wars Battlefront, which is kind of cool, and then also a backpack that literally just clips on the back there. One thing I thought was interesting with the new movie is the whole political dynamic where there's a republic, but then you've still got rebels, and you've got the First Order, and, you know, like, what happened? Who's in charge, or why are there still the two factions? Clearly the war did not end after the Battle of Endor. I think the comics, The Shattered Empire, made that reasonably clear, but still I'm hoping they're going to fill in a lot of the gaps and explain a lot of the stuff that I think needs to be, in particular what actually happened to the Rebel Force and why they're still simply that, rebels. And just for comparison, I've got him here with some of the other Rebel Soldier figures. You can see he fits in really well with the other Kenner Rebels, obviously from the start of Episode 4 there, but also scales really well with a lot of the newer Star Wars figures, even the ones from a few years ago, such as the Force Unleashed Rebel Trooper as well. A really cool looking figure. If you can find this guy, I was able to pick him up for like $5-10. So on that basis, I think he's well worth it. A cool looking design, something different, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed this review on the Kenner Star Wars Power of the Force Endor Rebel Soldier.